All right, let's call this meeting to order. We'll rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Vick.
Here.
Mr. Burnham is currently absent. Mr. Spencer.
Here.
Mr. Hunley.
Here.
Mr. Niemeyer is currently absent. Mr. Kowitz. Here. Mr. Smith will be absent. Mr. Carnahan is currently absent. Mr. Slaughter.
Present.
Mr. Austin.
Here.
Ms. Stenberg will be absent. Ms. Abernathy present.
Thank you, Ms. Abernathy. Appreciate it. We've got on our consent agenda approval of the August 15, 2002 meeting minutes and number 2, claims Fund 404 in the amount of $0 and Fund 804 in the small amount of $304,115.72. The majority of which is comprised of significant construction costs for Parish Avenue improvements in the amount of $279,953.97. And we also have July and August Parish Avenue Christopher Burke Engineering of about $18,000 there. Bears Group for $4,000, Legal for $617, and Cronin and Associates, who is assisting with our municipal finance, in the sum of $918. I will entertain a motion.
I'll do that, so moved.
Mr. Spencer, motion. Is there support?
I'll second.
Mr. Hunley, support. Discussion. Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Hunley.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Mr. Vick.
Yes. All right, that passes 3-0. Chris, I should have asked anything out of the ordinary there. Those numbers seem in line with what we'd expect.
Yeah, those numbers are in line, and I expect probably more pay requests from Milestone Engineering as that Parish Avenue comes to a conclusion, which, thankfully, is coming to a conclusion.
Were you out there with a shovel today, or what?
I was not out there with a shovel, but I was out there today, yes. I watched our police pull over 2 people who thought they could drive through the project area, so, in less than 10 minutes.
Well, I narrowly avoided one the other day.
One right after another. They're out there doing their job also, if anyone asks.
Will we see them in cops tonight? No.
Maybe a little late for this week's airing, but possibly next week.
Okay.
Next week, when you bring a boombox, Doug, Bad Boys, on your shoulder.
There may also be a expense on here for pepper spray.
Pepper spray, yes.
Or may.
So we're saying possibly next week you guys are talking about?
If the weather holds up and materials and labor and everything else that COVID has created that stalls projects, yes, we are expecting it to be opened up.
Got it.
All right, Doug, no rain dances until after next week, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good.
We'll move along to new business. First, we have Explore Everyday Community Recognition. And I believe, Rich, we have you on the docket this evening. Come on forward, sir. You should also receive an award as a involved community member that attends our meeting.
But I don't think they have that one yet either.
Hey, just wait, we'll make it. But tonight, you've seen what we've done in the past. We like to say thanks to those that invest a lot of time, effort, and dollars into the community, both putting people to work, putting dollars to work, and making things grow. And I know you've done that both at this location and in other locations here in town. So we want to give us an opportunity to say thank you to you and for you to, a little bit to share with us about some of the plans that you've got with your developments here in town. Take a picture and support your business. So what you got going on, sir?
Well, as far as Midwest PGM, we really have no more room for expansion. It would be nice if we could, because we'd love to, but that's just not possible. Although we do have everything concreted now, which is pretty much, doesn't happen with scrap yards. It's either dirt, gravel, or a mud pit like when we first started. But all 4 acres is concrete. Thanks to Ozinga being across the street kind of helped out a lot.
Right.
And we actually just finished our last retaining wall with the last pour we did 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So, but yeah, just trying to keep it clean and, so we can have people come in and not, get their vehicles muddy and stuff like that, and just try to keep it clean for being in town.
Right. No, very good. I know I've dropped off quite a few items dumpster diving with the kids, so appreciate that. And then, I think you've also opened up, you're recycling some of the items that are
Yes,
being brought in?
yes.
Okay, and how's that going?
Real good. I mean, we opened up, as is resale shop, August 15th. Kind of a, you know, soft open, nothing, you know, a lot of, not much advertising yet, which we actually just took an ad out in a family flyer that'll be out next month and stuff like that. Just kind of getting a feel of things and stuff. Went into the middle unit at the old guards building, that we purchased from, Hen and Sons, which now we actually have occupancy in Unit C. Deciding, how we're gonna go and, you know, move into that, as far as we're gonna probably cut one of the walls out, you know, leave still maintenance area and stuff, and, open it up so we can have 2,000 square foot instead of 1,000, you know, just trying to ease into it instead of, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, it's working out good. You know, we got our slow days. Most of the customers are coming right over from Harrio's, either before they eat or after. But just trying to get, you know, more presence out there and stuff like that. But a lot of, good majority of the stuff does come from the recycling center. You know, somebody does a clean out at their parents that, or grandparents that pass away, still good, you know, hand tools, garden tools, shop tools, stuff like that. And, you know, we can't see just, you know, taking it to this, you know, to the processor and get it shredded. Somebody can use it, and so, yeah, so we're just moving along with that, you know, one day at a time.
Well, very good.
Do you have to treat the water, I'm gonna call it the stormwater runoff or anything, from your facility there?
So yeah, so I have to fill out weekly, you know, reports and then, you know, and then yearly reports, which I haven't got my report back yet this year, but I gotta do stormwater sampling. I send it to Test America. I take all the samples myself at the point source discharge on the east side of our property, at the manhole there, and I run it over to, Test America. They run it out to, not Olympia Fields, but it's out, you know, just over the border in Illinois.
Yeah.
And then, they check it for lead, mercury, copper, all that kind of stuff. And
Okay.
so, yeah, being in more so not just the scrapyard, but it's being an end-of-life vehicle processor, we have to follow real strict guidelines, more so than just a recycling center. And so with that, we have to do this, you know, I forget how many things they test for, you know. And,
Yeah, if somebody brings you an old car or whatever it is.
yeah, so that's what the new building that we built a few years back, I wanna say we finished it about 4 years ago. We have 2 racks in there just for draining vehicles. So we gotta drain all the fluids and stuff before we crush them and send them out in the truck to get shredded. So yeah, there's strict guidelines we gotta follow.
So what are you selling at your, recycle shop there?
So at the resale, shop, we sell anything from shovels to home decor to a lot of lawn, decorations, ornaments and stuff like that, you know, old, metal chairs and stuff like that, just anything you could think of. We get people that scrap a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, we have people even scrapping DVDs, and we don't buy DVDs for scrap. Next thing you know, we walk out there with the scrap pile and we sell them for $1. So, you know, and people buy them.
So,
So,
anniversary coming up, Ted?
then we have jewelry also. And so we do get some stuff from, not necessarily flea markets, but stuff like that. We know somebody that passes away, they had a storage unit somewhere. I went to a storage unit, just up in Munster by the Lansing Airport, bought the whole unit from the guy, his in-laws passed away. And so right now, that's what's in Unit C. Tons of Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be coming out right around Thanksgiving, you know, all the stuff that my grandma used to have like in her front yard with the blow molded plastic candy canes.
Yeah.
So all that kind of stuff, so, but we're trying to be selective on what we have in there. I get a lot of requests for donations. We don't do consignment, we don't want that. And, you know, as far as donations, you know, people ask if we got clothes. We don't want clothes. We're geared more towards the household tools, you know, home decor kind of stuff. Really no furniture, but we do have some because it was in the storage unit that we purchased. But just items like that.
Good stuff.
You know, this thing is being videotaped. So
Yeah.
there goes my surprise.
They edit it out, right?
All right, anything else from the commission? Well, Rich, we appreciate you coming out tonight. Good to see you in a different context. We're happy to invite you. Appreciate your community involvement as well. Commissioner, you want to come down for a picture? Are we good? There, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. I got to bring my boys out because I got a bunch of tools there, so
Yeah.
they need their own stuff, so I don't need mine.
Yeah, that's it. Well, and that's one of the main things too, like we got her all set up, organized, and everything, so you need like 6 rents because they lost it, you get crap on it, and that's the main thing, you don't wanna buy a whole new set just for
Oh,
that.
you just need that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think golf clubs there hit the ball straight?
Baseball.
They're all crooked.
They're all crooked, that's why they're there.
1, 2. All right,
All
got a
right.
couple.
Yeah, now that you mention that, I actually have some crooked golf clubs I want to get.
Yeah, might actually make it look better, right?
Slicing to the right, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, mine goes to the left, maybe we could.
Just even them out.
All right.
Looks about.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you for that, Rich. Appreciate it. New business, we've got Explore Everyday Community Recognition nomination. What is the pleasure of the commission? Do we want to recognize a group this month? Do we want to wait? I know last month they had suggested L&M Dance Studio. What is the pleasure?
We can still leave them on there, although I do hear that the new Mexican place in the old Southside Pizza place has been quite popular lately.
Okay. Well, it's up to the commission. Don't want to twist any arms. You don't have to do it every month. It's up to you guys. Do I nominate someone for next month?
No. You were interested in L&M Dance Studio, I think about it.
Okay. Go ahead.
That makes a motion to an L&M Dance Studio.
All right, Mr. Hunley makes a motion. Is there support?
I second that.
All right, second. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, roll call, please.
Mr. Hunley,
Yes.
Mr. Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Vitt.
Yes. All right, Ms. Abernathy, we will work together as always and extend the invitation to them. All right, thank you. All right, next we got facade grant extension request 20-13 and 21-6. Mr. Lindemulder. How we doing, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah. Things have just been taking longer, so sorry to come again. I switched asphalt companies, which they say they're gonna start the end of this week, for B. And then A, landscaping pretty much got all done, but we're still waiting on sign company, which we switched companies on that one too. Just, the sign guys, they're swamped. And they, have lessened. It's more so metal, water jet cutting. So we found a different guy to do it. And asphalt guys, they're just all slammed.
It's the season for it. How's
Yeah,
it?
no, I know. They're all cramming it in, so.
Well, your tenant is already in there now, right?
No, so that's, he's finishing the inside
Oh, okay.
for the B, but yeah, we did get, that's the question, is he in there, is he not in there? He is parking vehicles in the parking lot,
Yeah.
but he's not, he's just finished the doors on the inside. We did have the fire department in there, everything was approved there, but we need the striping to be done before he can get full occupancy, which would be the asphalt and the reseal coated and then the striping done.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, what's the pleasure of the commission for 20-13? That's the one you're waiting to sign. Eric?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Want to make a motion to extend it out 3 months? What's the pleasure of the commission?
3 months do it for you?
Sure hope so.
Yeah.
I thought it would be, the last time too, but,
We're making progress. It's not like he's, it actually, it looks really nice at night, too, the way it's lit up.
yeah. And T&J actually just finished theirs next door too, and they did all kinds of extra landscaping on the side, so it's finally, they still have a couple miscellaneous things to finish, but, it's really all around is coming together.
I suggest that we go ahead and extend the, for 3 months.
Want to take a vote together?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion's been made. Is there support?
Second.
All right, second, Mr. Hunley, discussion. Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. Hunley,
Yes.
Mr. Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Nixon.
Yes. We look forward to invoices by December.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along to, let me bring this up. We've got our clerk treasurer funds reports. Ms. Sandberg is not here. Taking a look at what's in our funds right now, it looks like as of right now, we have in our fund balance $448,039.73, and then we have other funds being held in trust, $234,000. So about total right now is $682,000. Any questions on that from the commission?
That's good?
It's good to have dollars, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, anyone want to give questions to Chris to take back to Ms. Sandberg, or are we good? All right, hearing none, facade grant update, we've got two here. Berdan is waiting on an invoice. Ms. Abernathy, do you want to take us through these, or are these Mr. Chris's?
Margaret told me that Berdan has been, the work's done, he's just waiting on paid invoices, to submit the request. If not, he's looking to see if he can get the invoice and receipt to show that it's been paid. Cedar Lake Storage, they're coming up on their deadline. She's gonna reach out next week to see if they're gonna request an extension or where they're at on their work.
Okay.
I did stop in a couple times, the last couple months there, and, because I was actually looking for, boat storage or whatever, but, and I explained, hey, you guys are getting close to this date here, you need to, and, they didn't get back to me on my boat, and now they're not getting back to me, I'm getting this money there, so.
Well, I know they're working on it, because when I went by tonight, they had the landscape guys that were coming out, who I think are working on the drainage that's in back. So the last thing that I think that the town wants is the asphalt. I'll refrain comment on that, but I think the town wanted a lot of non-pervious pavement out there. So it's quite a significant chunk, so I think that's the last step that's out there, after they put the drainage out back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a number of items our engineer is working on, as part of their final punch list, because they're going through the, I believe they have a letter of credit with the planning commission that they're working to reduce, so we're working through them with our engineering department, making sure, all the inspections are coming back clear, and that they're building what they promised they were gonna build.
Well, I guess, when you talk to them, you can, just say, you can go ahead and, get a letter for extension or whatever. If they need any help on it, they just call this Eric guy, and he seems to.
Just copy paste this letter. I'm
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
gonna send it tomorrow,
I'll give him the template.
so I'll talk to him.
Okay.
It's pretty complicated, right?
Starts with please,
Yeah.
ends with an extension. All right, good deal. And I'll actually see them tomorrow so I can have a conversation with them about that. Financial analysis, Tiff, do we have Corby with us this evening or not?
He's not
No.
online, no.
We do not, but we do have, Dave and I have been working with Corby and Phil Facenda, our financial advisors and extraordinary legal advice. We are cobbling together a plan, and I believe we are looking at October 18th for a joint session.
We're anticipating, with your permission, having a joint meeting of the Planning Commission, Town Council, and Redevelopment Commission on October 18th. That's the night of your next regular meeting. We will do the usual, I think I explained to Chris, our group is veteran, you guys have done this. There'll be a declaratory resolution for each of the Planning Commission and the Town Council to the Redevelopment Commission for the adjustment, amendment, modification, addition. There's going to be some of all of that, of the town's TIF districts for the upcoming year. So that'll be the night we would ask your permission to notice and add it on the agenda. Public hearing will be noticed after that, probably at the November public meeting for adoption consideration of the initiative.
Okay, that's 17th.
November 17th? I don't know.
18th, I think you just said. right?
October 18th.
October 18th.
October, though, yeah.
October 18th is a Tuesday, so if we're gonna go with the regular schedule, that's the 17th.
Oh, no, that's your regular, whatever your regular night is.
Okay, all right, okay. And that's to establish the 41 TIF corridor day as well?
It is, it'll include everything.
Okay,
You may have a couple of different resolutions, actually.
that's fine,
As a consequence, but yes.
okay. How far, south and east are we planning on pushing the boundaries of that?
Well, we don't need to push beyond the railroad because of the housing that is at the intersection of 141st and the railroad track.
Mhm.
We don't need to push south past the 141st where the school is. So it's everything between the Boltzmann parcel as it is being developed now and 141st and east of the railroad.
Okay,
That's what it looks like.
okay,
We're still talking about the west side of Route 41 to the extent that it's within the municipal corporate boundaries. So we're looking at that.
okay. I need to talk to you about that after the meeting.
So is that about 6 o'clock?
It would be, we'd have it at the next meeting on your regular agenda at 6.
Let's see.
Okay. Any questions for Chris or Dave on that front, else from the commission? No?
No.
Okay. It sounds like then we're working through all the ones to take out as well.
That'll be part of the process.
We each have war maps. We're identifying parcels and
Oh, yeah.
totally on an action mapping.
Okay, arguing for and against. Is it the plan to create an entirely new one, Dave? Or are we amending the existing geography?
That's possible.
Okay,
We haven't made the final recommendation yet.
okay, all right. Okay. Anything else from the commission? School board?
Last Wednesday, we had our ribbon cutting for Red Cedars Elementary School. The public was able to take tours given by our elementary students of the new school and facilities. It was a very nice event. We don't have final numbers from our count, but we're at approximately 2,700 students now, which is an increase this year of approximately 120 students.
What's the percentage increase? Okay. That's all right, I have to know what that equivocated to.
Is that just for Red Cedars, or is that the entire,
The entire district, 2,700, and then the 120 students is just across the
4.4% increase.
Good
Good.
deal. There's lots more homes coming in, so lots more kids. Good stuff, all right, thank you. Anything from the public?
Chris, we're making good progress on the drainage site?
Oh, yeah.
Like restoration?
Yeah, the sediment dewatering facility, and part of the reason why I was late, I was showing Dave, our police department's been doing, every Friday, we do a drone flyover over the site, and it's just unreal how large it is. A 45-acre giant dirt bowl with 12 to 16 foot high walls does not compute in the mind, and you really do have to go out there and see it. And the drone footage from 400 feet up make those giant excavators look like little Hot Wheels toys.
Yeah.
But the site is massive, and they're moving along super fast. It'll be done before this year, unquestionably, as well as some of the other projects we've gotten to prime for the dredge that'll start next year. If you haven't been out to the site yet, I would suggest you go and check it out, preferably when they're not working on it, so after hours.
I see. And preferably, I think, was it Foreman that kind of got pulled over for being out there? And
Oh, that was on Parish Avenue.
You got a ticket.
He got pulled over on Parish Avenue for he was inspecting the construction, and the officer that pulled him over didn't know he was a councilman.
Okay.
So that was kind of funny, but We have posted some photos on our Facebook page about the sediment dewatering facility, and as soon as we can get the clips that the drone has taken of the site sized down to something that's manageable to upload onto either our website or YouTube, we're going to do such so that way citizens can kind of see the progression as we do.
I know this isn't this is not the eco-restoration meeting here, but
You're paying.
are we, is there a little bit of discussion about us having a meeting again here before we get rolling here? Are we going to have to wait until the fall as opposed to possibly hitting it in the spring
For
to start the dredging?
we cannot start until, for next year, we cannot start until after the 4th of July. That's per DNR.
For who?
DNR,
Okay, but where's the DNR getting that from?
from themselves.
Okay.
They have authority over the lake.
Well, Dave, I'll get you here to agree with me. What is the busiest time on the lake? Is it 4th of July and after? It like really kicks in, July and August, you know?
Yeah.
And on the other hand, when is, before the lake turns over, if we started in the spring, we'll get the advantage of getting all the sludge out of there before it actually gets started to be activated. By July, it's hot weather and it's rolling, you know? And so I would contend if we've got this opportunity to, you know.
I'm not going to argue with you on the points you've made, because I would share those same points of just living under the rules the DNR set forth.
And I'll take right out of DNR's magazine the worried about the possible algae growth and whatever it grows heaviest when it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get it in the spring, you haven't gotten it hot, you've got a good way of getting that out of there, because it's sitting there, it's waiting for, you know, the hot weather and for us to stir it up. So it's possible that we could get a good jump on the deal there.
I guess,
If we can negotiate with the DNR, I know Dave has suggested talking with them to see if they'll loosen up on the after 4th of July deadline that they've been pretty hot about. But as of right now, our permit through the DNR to do the dredge has that as a start, as soon as we can start that vote.
is there a rationale for why that
I-
date?
Wasn't a part of that discussion.
I'll take it right from their magazine. Get it when it's cold, they said, you know.
Well, the rationale, though, is that somebody in Indianapolis agreed with somebody that the Summerfest event that occurs here and the holiday, Independence Day holiday activities here in the town complex and the lake adjacent to us was paramount.
But dredging doesn't interfere with use of this ground.
Well, everything doesn't happen on this ground, but somebody planted that seed somewhere, and it took.
Well, you know, maybe when we, yeah, this is not the venue to discuss it, but maybe we can discuss it with them. Maybe that may be a way that we can kind of get a little bit of a head start, because it won't go the whole summer. They're gonna fill that up with water pretty quick, and it'll take them a while for that water to, you know, leach off of that.
Oh,
The sludge, you're right.
Oh, no, I quite the opposite. I would expect that they're gonna struggle to fill that basin. I mean, it's capable of handling, and I'm not the engineer that designed it, but I believe the number in my mind is 500,000 cubic yards of material, which is...
The dredge, like any large centrifugal pump, you can only move about 20 to 25% solids. So you realize that that's 75% of it is going to be water in there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it does take time for it to separate out of the water and what have you there. So that part, the water part, will fill up pretty fast, and then we sit, and then it'll take a while for it to come on down.
And I do believe the engineers have accounted for that. But again, and not being the engineer on the project, I can't get too far into the details.
Got it. Okay.
Exciting stuff. All right. Anything else from the commission? Anything from the public?
That smell.
At the dewatering facility?
Yeah.
It's decayed organic stuff.
Possibly, but it's so far out in the middle of nowhere that it shouldn't affect any you know, the nearest subdivision would be Lynn's Way, which is a fair distance away, and I wouldn't expect to be able to smell too much. But I've also not been in front of a dewatering facility, so I can't say with full confidence that that's the case.
Right, no,
Matt, a quick question on that. Once the water evaporates, does the sludge that's taken out, will they remove that once it's dried out and carry that to a different place, or will that kind of,
So the water will half evaporate, and we'll have a control structure at the end of at one corner of the pond, which will release water over overland route, and it will return naturally back to the lake here. But yes, once that material has dried, settled, dewatered, the town would be clear to move in the future.
so it won't stay on that particular piece of ground forever, in other words?
Correct. The town does plan to make that site a sports complex of sorts, a park. So yeah, that is the intention to eventually move it, level the site in some way.
So that, from an ecology standpoint, that won't affect the ground at all. I mean, it's all natural stuff they're putting in it. It's just a matter of kind of turning it over in a sense?
Been told by our engineers and some of the farmers that rent our land that they would be interested in purchasing the soil potentially as part of something they could spread in their fields.
Sure.
Because I was told that it's already, the material in the water has already been tested and that it's safe for the site that's going to be
Recycle
placed
back
on.
in. Sure.
It's high quality soil.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of, natural organics, decaying organics, which
That would be the solid
plant
part
life
for the
would really,
most part.
they would really like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, Cedar Lake isn't something that's sitting right next to a petrochemical plant or a steel mill or whatever. So you didn't have that kind of sludge going into Cedar Lake, it's just,
Well, and actually,
it's just the dirt and coming in.
In a sense, it's just from the water draining to the lake, it's bringing the sediment over the top, in a sense.
well, and as Cedar Lake develops its watershed and we eliminate the farms in the area, you no longer get those farming
Nitrogen.
nitrogen,
Yeah.
phosphorus, et cetera, bleeding into the lake, which was part of the problem with algae blooms because they feed off of the fertilizers that come off the field. As we develop subdivisions and implement,
It gets farther away.
modern stormwater control mechanisms, the water feeding into the lake will be cleaner than it was previously.
Now, when you had just mentioned, Chris, the water, our stormwater, we want to try to get our stormwater back to the lake for the most part, wherever we can.
Correct.
Yes, to keep replenishing fresh water to it.
Yes, the
We're not
lake
draining
needs
away.
a certain amount of what I've been told is called flushing, so the water needs to move,
Right.
circulate, and eventually cycle through its natural ecosystem. The more flushing we can do throughout the lake, the healthier the lake is. Yeah.
Permit mandated.
Now, that falls back with the DNR situation then, when you say permit mandate and stuff like that? So
Yeah.
we're all, in a sense, Cedar Lake only has X amount of control over what they can do on the lake because of DNR, or like?
Subject to the permit, which was all engineered.
Right. But, yeah.
So everything a part of this lake ecosystem restoration project has been vetted and permitted through the DNR, who has the authority over the water.
Right. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of winds that come out of a project like this, then. A lot of winds.
Yeah.
If I moved faster, if it wasn't in Lake County, any other county in the state, besides Lake County.
Lake County's a special beast.
Yep.
We don't have the power of secession here, Jim. Otherwise, Mr. Niemeyer would have taken us down that road months ago. All right, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.